You're not tired. You slept. You're not sick. You're not distracted. You just can't seem to get to that level, the one where thinking feels effortless, where ideas connect, where you finish what you start. Most people assume that's just how it is after a certain age. It's not. Here's what's actually happening. Your brain is an extraordinarily capable system, but it operates under constraints, biological constraints, chemical constraints, and increasingly, lifestyle constraints that most of us were never taught to manage. The result is what researchers call cognitive underperformance, not dysfunction, not disease, just a consistent gap between what your brain is capable of and what it's actually delivering on any given day. And the gap is larger than most people realize. Studies suggest that chronic stress, poor sleep, nutritional gaps, and sedentary behavior can reduce effective cognitive output by 30 to 40%, sometimes more. That's not an exaggeration. That's neuroscience. So what do we actually mean when we talk about cognitive performance? It's not IQ. It's not how smart you were born. Cognitive performance is a functional concept. It refers to how well your brain executes the tasks you need it to do in real life. That includes 4 core domains. 1. Attention and focus. Your ability to direct mental resources to a task and hold them there without constant drift. This is the one most people notice first when it starts to slip. 2. Working memory. The mental workspace where you hold and manipulate information in real time. When you walk into a room and forget why you're there, that's working memory showing strain. 3. Processing speed. How quickly your brain takes in information, evaluates it, and responds. Slower processing shows up as that slight lag, the conversation where you think of the right thing to say 3 minutes too late. 4. Executive function, the command center, planning, decision-making, emotional regulation, task switching. When executive function is compromised, everything feels harder, not because you're less capable, but because the orchestration system is running on low resources. These 4 domains work together, and they're all trainable, optimizable, and, critically, sensitive to the choices you make every day. Here's the uncomfortable part. The modern environment is, almost perfectly, designed to degrade cognitive performance. Chronic, low-grade sleep deprivation. The average adult in developed countries sleeps 6.5 to 7 hours, below the 7 to 9 hours that neurological research consistently identifies as necessary for full cognitive restoration. Chronic stress. Elevated cortisol, the primary stress hormone, directly impairs the prefrontal cortex, the region most responsible for executive function and rational decision-making. Long-term, it can shrink hippocampal volume, the area central to memory formation. Ultra-processed nutrition. The brain runs on glucose and a complex web of micronutrients, B vitamins, magnesium, omega-3 fatty acids, zinc. Most standard Western diets are chronically deficient in several of these. And then there's the one nobody talks about, cognitive monotony. The brain adapts to chronic understimulation the same way a muscle responds to disuse. It becomes less efficient. None of this is inevitable, but it is the default, unless you actively manage it. This is what Cognitive Insight Lab is built around, not biohacking, not the kind of content that tells you to take 6 supplements and track every metric. This is about understanding the system, your brain, well enough to make better decisions about how you treat it. We'll cover the neuroscience of focus and mental fatigue, the actual research behind brain supplements and what the evidence does and doesn't support, sleep architecture and why fixing your sleep might be the single highest leverage cognitive intervention available to you, memory strategies that are clinically validated, not borrowed from productivity culture. And yes, we'll look at cognitive tools and supplements, honestly, with the research on the table, not the marketing copy. Every video on this channel is built on one principle. You deserve accurate information, delivered without jargon, without hype, and without anything being sold to you that hasn't been properly examined. If you're someone who's done the Google searches, read the forums, felt overwhelmed by conflicting information, this channel is for you. Before we close, I want to be clear about something. We're not talking about superhuman cognition, not limitless, not unlocking 100% of your brain. That's a myth, and we won't be repeating it here. What optimized cognitive performance actually feels like is quieter than that. It's getting to the end of a workday without feeling like your brain was scraped against concrete. It's holding a complex thought long enough to do something useful with it. It's waking up and feeling like the version of yourself that can handle things. That's achievable. For most adults, that's genuinely achievable with the right information and consistent application. That's what we're here to build. If that sounds like what you've been looking for, subscribe. Next week, we're going into one of the most common and least understood cognitive complaints in adults, brain fog. Specifically, why you can sleep 8 hours and still wake up feeling mentally underwater, and what the research says about why that happens. The link to our full article on cognitive performance is in the description. It goes deeper on the neuroscience with sources. I'll see you next week.